my opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call him white nationalist, to me is an American. It's an American. Now, if that white nationalist is a racist, I'm totally against anything that they want to do. Because
see, this is where I think he is making the white patriot thing. He's saying it's a white patriot. If that white patriot is racist, then yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but it's like, how is he this fucking stupid?
It's not people who are white, it's white nationalists.
that have a few probably
You see the
different
distinction,
beliefs.
right?
That have different beliefs. Now, if racism is one of those beliefs, I'm totally against it. I am totally against racism.
But that
there's
is
a lot of
a
people
white,
that
a
believe
white
in different
nationalist
things.
is racist, Senator.
Well, that's your opinion.
Okay, so Tommy Tuberville, senator for Alabama, Republican senator for Alabama, got into some trouble very recently over some very bizarre comments that he made in an interview that happened yesterday.
U.S. senator, right? It's the
U.S. senator of Alabama.
The big house.
Yeah, federal senator, not a state senator. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Alabama, huh? Poorest state in the nation.
Yep. So here we go.
Speaking of the military, I do want to give you a chance to clarify some comments you made recently on white nationalists serving in the military. For those who are watching, if they haven't heard your remarks, this is what you said.
Do you believe they should allow white nationalists in the military?
Well, they call them that. I call them Americans.
Adam. Come on. It's like the worst possible answer you could ever give.
Well, look, it is.
It's so bad.
It's terrible. It is terrible.
Oh my God. Now I will grant him. That this took place on May 8th, as you see on the screen. Okay. I can grant him that maybe on May 8th, he honestly didn't know what the term meant. He literally thought it meant white people who were nationalists for America, right? I would grant him the charity that in this original conversation, that's what he thought.
Right.
Right. But obviously, if you're not going to grant him this charity, this looks so bad.
It looks horrible. He could be completely ignorant of the term and think it's white patriot. He could know that it means racist, but
someone who's in favor of a white ethno state.
Right, but using the white patriot excuse as cover to kind of hide so his constituents can see it both ways. That could be going on. That could definitely be going on.
Right.
So it's hard to say.
Well, that's the issue, is that we don't know what the intention is.
Well, this is why I wanted, follow-up questions.
Right. But here's part of the problem too. It's like, so if we give him the charity and say that he thought it meant white people who were nationalists, right?
Right.
So white, nationalists.
Right.
Who's advocating that people that are patriots, that are pro-America and are white, who's saying that those people can't be in the military? I've never heard this position ever articulated in my life.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's got to look. If he honestly believes that, he's got to think, "What the fuck? Of course, patriots are allowed in the military.
Yeah,
it's the fucking military.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
do you want to explain those comments, Senator?
Yeah. First of all, I'm totally against any type of racism. Okay, I was a football coach for 40 years, and I dealt and had opportunity.
Not good when you bring up the football coach thing. I'm just not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. This is as bad as Gavin bringing up the black friends. Like you can't look. You're just not. You can't do that. Right?
Did you see her face as soon as he said that? There's like a little smile crept across.
Look,
her
I
lips.
did not notice that. I was too.
But go back. Look at her lip. Look at her face. What he said.
Yeah. First of all, I'm totally against any type of racism. Okay, I was a football coach for 40 years, and I dealt and had opportunity to.
No, maybe not. I just imagine.
Yeah, you oversold it. She's totally.
It.
She's very steely-eyed about
She's
this.
just very oh man. Listen, I'm not racist, Okay, I interact with black people in sports.
I know. Oh,
Oh, come on, Tommy! What are you doing, Tommy?
look, the only reason to bring up the football coach thing is because he's talking about race, right? Okay.
Yeah, I just oh god, you don't want to play in those stereotypes. But anyway,
Yeah. Let's go.
To be around more minorities than anybody up here on this hill. But when our military has been attacked,
Okay, there's the face. There's the face she made.
yes.
and I dealt and had opportunity to be around more minorities than anybody up here on this hill. But when our military has been attacked, was being attacked after 9/11, after January the 6th, and that was my first day on the Senate floor, I thought it was outrageous of what senators from the Democratic side, Chuck Schumer said on the floor that night, calling out people, calling people racist, calling people nationalists, white nationalists. White nationalists is just another word that they want to use other than racism. I'm totally against anything to do with racism, but
So wait. Okay, this is interesting because okay, the clip that I saw doesn't include any of this. This is all new to me.
Oh, really?
So this is
Okay,
additional
interesting.
context. What is he said? He said on 9/11.
No, January 6th. He
Oh, sorry,
misspoke.
January
Yeah.
6th.
So
did
they
he say
tried
9/11,
to
or
they
did I
tried
just
to
mishear?
say they tried to say the Trump rioters were white nationalists. So
Oh.
he's objecting to that framing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look, we saw an out of context clip, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, okay. So now, I'm sort of starting to understand what's happening a little
Right.
bit more.
He's
Right?
saying that those people were white patriots on January 6th, that they weren't racists.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
the thing about being a white nationalist is just a cover word for the Democrats now, where they can use it to try to make people mad across the country. Identity politics. I'm totally against that. But I'm for the American people. I'm for military. I'm for Christian conservatives, Democrats, whoever wants to be in the military to fight for this country, to protect this country. That's what it's all about.
But just to
So, before we get into the follow-up here, this is like a terrible answer, okay? Because you can make the argument where you say, okay, the Democrats are trying to label everyone that disagrees with them as racist or white nationalists. You can make that argument, but that's a very different argument than trying to attack the validity of the term's existence at all. Because when you attack the validity of the term's existence, it kind of goes into the realm of like, you know, when you try to bring up cultural Marxism and people say that's just a Nazi dog whistle, right?
Right.
You're like, well, why are you trying to make it so that we can't have a term to describe a specific
Oh,
thing?
you're saying that applies here as well.
Yeah, like if you're going to say that we can't even use the term white nationalist, that's the same as saying you can't even use the term cultural Marxist. Like you can use the term and the term means something very specifically. White nationalist means very specifically and always has. People trying to like argue that this isn't the case, but it's not true. White nationalist has means and always has meant, and at least in America, a person who's advocating for a white ethno-state. Now, you can say that I don't think the people on January 6th were racist. You can say you don't think they're white nationalists. You can say that the Democrats are wrongly labeling people these things. But when you call into question that the label shouldn't exist, that's when you kind of get the sus eyebrow raised, because it's like, what's happening here? Why are you trying to prevent people from being able to describe a concept?
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I don't think Tommy's smart enough to,
Yeah,
to like
I don't know
have
that-
all these
look,
thoughts, but
I agree. I'm not sure that's what's going on here.
right. I'm just saying this is your media training here. So
That's what it's all about.
But just to be clear, you agree that white nationalists should not be serving in the U.S. military. Is that what you're saying?
If people think that a white nationalist is a racist, I agree with that. I agree they
A white
shouldn't.
nationalist is someone who believes that the white race is superior to other races.
Well,
Not a white nationalist. That's a white supremacist. I mean, it's a
yeah,
little-
well, this is where she's being kind
Right.
of stupid in the conversation.
right. Because the white nationalists will say, "Well, we don't think white people are superior." right?
Yeah, I know they do the whole. We think Jews and Asians are like superior. That's why we need our own country.
I know. I know. It's
It's like,
so
okay.
Well, that's some people's opinion, and I don't think.
That's
I mean,
not
a lot.
opinion.
Pardon?
What's your opinion?
My opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call him white nationalist, to me is an American. It's an American. Now, if that white nationalist is a racist, I'm totally against anything that they want to do because
see, this is where I think he
Yes.
is making the white patriot thing. He's saying it's a white patriot. If that white patriot is racist, then fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but it's like, how is he this fucking stupid?
It's Sitch. What do you
Like-
look?
This is what
the world we live in.
Yeah, but like, okay, if he just said this on the show for the first time,
Why is
right?
she so stupid that she didn't ask him the follow-up question? What do you mean, white patriot?
No, listen. I agree with you 100%. She didn't. Well, you can have. I think either one or two things happening with the interviewer. Either one, she's just angry and emotional, and she thinks he's racist, so she's not even thinking that there's some miscommunication, or she thinks there is possible miscommunication, but she doesn't care
Because she wants to paint
viral
him as a
clip.
racist. Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right. So
Look,
one of those two things
he's
happening.
got an R by his name, and he's from Alabama. This is
Right.
like her dream
Perfect. Yeah.
interview.
Right. But no, but going back to Tommy for a second, if this was just like the first time he made the statement, I could be like, okay, maybe he's just like an idiot, right? But he made this statement in
Multiple
May.
times. I know.
Okay. He made this statement in May and people attacked him for it. How have you gone through all these months? You know that this is going to get asked of you again. You never like Google the term white fucking nationalist and look up the dictionary definition or have an aide do it for you just so you could have like a response to this question. Like,
This is his response. Sitch, what's wrong
this
with
is
it?
the worst response ever. Here's the response. Here's the response, everyone. Okay. You're Tommy Tuberville. You put your foot in your mouth with the white nationalist question earlier.
Uh-huh.
Okay, about the January 6th stuff. Now you say, how do you respond to this? You say, listen, I didn't know what this term meant. I didn't know what the term meant. I was confusing it for something else. I do not support any sort of white nationalism. I don't support any sort of white supremacy. But I do think that the Democrats throw these labels out too easily at people that are not actually racist.
Right.
Boom! There's your fucking answer.
No, that
Simple.
would be great. Yeah, that would
Okay.
be great.
Boom. And then you don't
The
get stuck in any of
racist
these.
Democrats target white people
There you go.
who are patriots and
you
wrongly
go.
call them racist white nationalists.
Right.
And
Right,
though
there you go.
and though technically as a senator from Alabama, I believe white people who are patriots are fine
Right.
as long as they're not racist. Yeah, no, that
You're
would
already
be much
confusing
better.
it. Okay. You're already making it more complicated. I'm just saying. You just say, boom, I made a mistake. I didn't, this isn't the term
No,
I
but
meant.
look-
This is what I meant. Boom, 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 boom.
Even
Just
if
lay
we
it all out.
look,
Okay.
even if we made it as
Simple.
clear as we made it here, people
Right.
would still mischaracterize it just to say this guy's a racist.
No,
Like that's the
obvious-
whole
listen,
game that's
right.
going on here.
Obviously, well, here's the thing. There'll always be people that will intentionally try to mischaracterize you.
Of
okay?
course.
But there's a spectrum. There's a spectrum of bad actorness, right?
Of course.
So like if you want to have just the 20% of the worst actors mischaracterize you, okay, you say what I said in terms of trying to fix the situation.
Mhm.
But if you want like 80% of everyone to mischaracterize
You-
you give this answer.
You give-
Okay?
You give the answer I gave. Yeah. No, I
no, I'm saying
agree.
you give the answer that Tommy's giving right now.
Oh yeah, well
Which
that's
is
the-
like, what
I
does
would
this
say
even mean?
look, I would say Tommy's answer is like 100%. You're going to be mischaracterized.
well, I'm
Like,
not.
it's not
I think
even
you're right.
close.
I think you're right. I don't think he is secretly dog whistling for racist or anything because it doesn't like he wouldn't denounce racism and then dog whistle for racism.
Of
It
course.
doesn't make sense to me.
Of course. All right, let's continue.
But anyway, yeah.
white nationalist, if somebody wants to call him white nationalist, to me is an American. It's an American. Now, if that white nationalist is a racist, I'm totally against anything that they want to do because I am 110% against racism. But I want somebody that's in our military, that's strong, that believes in this country,
Your
that's
face.
an American, that will fight along anybody, whether it's a man or woman, black or white, red, it doesn't make any difference. And so I'm totally against identity politics. I think it's ruining this country, and I think that Democrats ought to be ashamed for how they're doing this. because it's dividing this country and it's making this country weaker every day.
But that's not identity politics. You said a white nationalist is an American.
It is identity politics.
You said a white nationalist is an American, but a white nationalist is someone who believes horrific things. Do you really think that's someone who should be serving in the military?
Well, that's just a name that it's been given. I mean,
it's not.
listen,
It's a real definition. There's real concerns
so if
about
you're going to do away
extremism.
with most white people in this country out of the military, we got huge problems.
It's not.
We
It's
got
not.
huge-
Look, he thinks all white people in the military are white patriots.
I know. God,
Why is she not responsible for this? Because she should be. Look, we understand the miscommunication, no problem. How come she's doing this? How come she wants to get into the definition games here?
Listen, these are bad follow-ups, because even she doesn't have a clear understanding of white nationalism, because she's like, white nationalist is someone who
believes horrific things.
Believes horrific things. Like she didn't say well, wait a minute, I don't understand what you're saying, Senator. Definitionally, like if I'm asking a question, I'd say, I don't understand what you're saying, Senator. Definitionally, if you look up in the dictionary the term white nationalist, it means someone who believes in a white ethno-state. Like that's what the word means. So I'm not really sure I understand the delineation you're trying to make here.
You could ask a lot of follow-ups. Do you believe in that we should have a multicultural society or multi-ethnic society?
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like here's the thing. Like she's asking bad follow-ups and she's doing a bad job in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not like Kathy Newmaning him, right? She's not like trying. I don't think she's trying to catch him. I think she just honestly. I don't think either of them understands what the fuck the problem is.
Look, I think she is 100% Kathy Newmaning him, and the Kathy Newmaning problem was that she was a dipshit and didn't know what the hell Jordan Peterson was saying.
I completely disagree with you. I think she honestly doesn't understand what he is talking about.
That's what I just said.
Nope, Kathy Newman was trying to catch Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
Like Kathy Newman, because what Kathy Newman would do was she would listen to what Jordan Peterson said, and then she would reframe it in the most negative way possible.
Right.
And that's why he would say, because she's like, so you're saying, and he's like, no, I didn't say that at all. You know, like.
Okay. She's a little more good faith than that, but still stupid.
Well, I just think they just don't. I think it's just Sitch's law. I think they're just talking past each other.
Let's move on.
It's not people who are white. It's white nationalists
that have a few probably
you see the
different
distinction,
beliefs.
Right?
that have different beliefs. Now, if racism is one of those beliefs, I'm totally against it. I am totally against racism.
But
there's a lot of people that
a
believe
white
in different
nationalist
things.
is racist, Senator.
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But if it's racism, I'm totally against it. I'm totally against any type of race, or any type of racism. I don't care what it's in.
So do you buy it?
So
Do you buy my explanation now? So when he hears white nationalist, he's hearing white patriot. And he's thinking, well, all the white guys in the military, they're all patriots and they all have all kinds of different beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
They're all over the place. But if they believe in racism, that's bad. We discourage that.
When I first saw the clip, I thought that there was just confusion. I don't think that he was dog whistling for a white nationalist or something. Even though I humorously tweeted out this clip and I said I'm getting flashbacks just for like the handful of people that would know what I was referencing. Someone very funny said, it's good. They said, I'm so proud to see Brooks finally become a senator.
Oh, you meanie.
I know. But anyway. No. So yeah, no, I don't think he is dog whistling for white nationalism. I just
look, he was a coach.
This is like the dumbest. How are people this stupid in Congress? Like, this is the dumbest fucking answer to this question. It's just such an easy thing to answer.
America
just made it so much worse.
America is a giant nation where, there's like a lot of different cultures in America.
We need to listen. I've been convinced for vanguardism now. We need.
No, don't go crazy now.
I'm just kidding. But no, it's just no. So okay. But there is something that is actually malicious that's arisen from this interaction that I didn't expect necessarily.
Uh-oh.
Which is that, so I saw that Jack Posobiec tweeted this out, and I was
Right.
looking through the replies. And first of all, I don't really follow Jack Posobiec. I don't know anything about him.
And
Really
it's
that much.
all really white nationalists.
There was a lot of racist ass people replying, like top comments.
Oh, that
Either number
sucks.
one, that were replying, or number two, doing this fucking insane. And here's the problem: there was a lot of people replying that were like, white nationalism isn't real, or saying white nationalism is a boogeyman, or saying there's nothing wrong with white nationalism. And they
That's
were,
a
and then
scary one.
and
Unless
well,
they mean white patriot.
well, but that's the problem, because there are a lot of people saying, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with white nationalism." Like that's just a nationalist who's white, and you're sitting there. I'm like, okay, are these people fucking stupid,
Or are they malicious?
is it malicious? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. And
Or
I'm looking through
are
these
they
replies.
Chinese operatives?
Are they Chinese operatives? Yeah, right. And that's kind of like the scary maliciousness that kind of came out of this, is that there's a bunch of people, like, because I could believe there's a bunch of people on the right who are just automatically like, I have to defend this guy because he's on the right, so I'm going to adapt whatever stupid argument he adapts. Like that's
Of course.
something that we see all the time, right? So I don't know if that's what's happening with a lot of those people in the replies, or if they are legitimate alt-righters, white nationalists, who are trying to use this as an opportunity.
Let's hope they're not.
To mainstream the idea that, like, oh no, listen, white nationalism just means you're a nationalist at white, it's totally fine, totally acceptable. Those dirty liberal media trying to demonize white nationalists, like, I
Wow.
don't know. It's just, it's like, I don't know what you do in that situation, because it's hard to tell who is who in that mix.
You
right?
get
Who's
another
the useful idiot.
You get another CNN commentator that's not a total moron, and you interview the
Right.
guy again. Look, this could be straightened out by dinner time.
Listen, I'm going to reach out to Tommy. Okay, we can straighten this out.
Let's do it.
We'll give charity
Look,
and
we're
good faith to Tommy.
we're YouTubers. He's Tommy Tuberville. Come on, come on
That's
our
right.
channel.
It's in his name. There you go. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, this clip was wild to me. It's so insane.
This is a pretty wild clip. I mean, this is a good clip, definitely. So,
Okay.
all right,
see.
moving on.
Okay. Well, let me read. There's some super chats here about this.
About Tommy Tuberville.
Yes. Zero Fucks for 10 months says, when it comes to being dumb, Tuberville is not the exception. He's the rule. Update your Bayesian prior for trusting government institutions accordingly. Well, there it goes. There's
Look
Zero
at that.
Fucks.
You
Thank
just changed Sitch. He's no longer an establishment shill. This video convinced him government is evil.
So WT1A1A, I don't know. See, here's the problem too. I don't know where people are from. And I think there might be some confusion for non-Americans. I don't know if WTF1A1A is American, because WT1A for $7 says, why is Sitch a child now? So X-race nationalist means someone wants their ethnostate. For example, black nationalists, Muslim nationalists, etc. Also house the squirrel, Adam.
The squirrel is kind of timid now.
Nice.
But still comes. I fed the squirrel this morning.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. But to answer your question, WTF1A1A, yes. Anyone that says they're a black nationalist, that's what it means. To be a black nationalist literally means they want a black ethnostate. That's what it means. If someone says, I mean, I've never really heard the term Muslim nationalist, but I would assume that's what it means too. But yeah, if you hear the people, I mean, that was a big part of the civil rights movement between, the Black Power movement, the Black Panther Party, and Martin Luther King Jr. There were black nationalists. This is kind of, I mean, and this is where I guess I'm confused at. I mean, this is part of what I always bring up in CRT, is that they literally say in CRT, and I've read this quote a million times.
Yeah.
They say, we should not have thrown black nationalists under the bus the way we've thrown white nationalists. Like in CRT, they say maybe we should reconsider black nationalism. But that's what it means. It literally means to have a
segregated state,
separate community, separate country for people that are black. That's
not
what it means.
It's not a black guy who's in the military and goes, "Raw, love America."
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, maybe I'm in a little bubble in that I understand the term, and there's just a lot of people out there that have just never heard the term, white or black nationalist. I thought these were very common terms. Maybe they're not. But that's how like if you Google it, you look in dictionary.com, that's what they mean. There's never been any other interpretation for these terms.
I actually
So-
love this clip now. Just the miscommunication of it all. Oh, it's just comedy gold.
Well, it's not. I mean, I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's going to be doing Tommy's career any favors.
It's comedy gold. Look,
It is pretty funny.
he probably just gained like 5 points for a Senate seat. Everyone in Alabama knows what Tommy's saying. That's all
I
that
don't
matters.
know. That's pretty bad if that's the case.
Look,
That's
you've
pretty
got
bad if
some
that's the case.
New York liberal
Yeah.
who doesn't know jack shit. You think that's going to hurt Tommy's reelection campaign? This New York liberal on CNN who
Yeah, but see,
doesn't
that's
even
all-
know what white nationalist means.
That's the thing. It's like either you interpret it because again, there's only two interpretations. He's an idiot or he's secret dog whistling
Look,
for
I'm
racist. Now,
telling
I think
ya.
he's an idiot. Either one of those things is not a good reason to reelect the guy.
I'm telling you, his poll numbers just went up 15 points.
You could be correct. I don't know.
Look,
But and of course, you know how everyone on the left can interpret that if that happens.
of course,
That just proves Alabama's a racist.
they're going to go, look, this is a rise of white nationalism.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to say
All-
half of our military is white nationalists.
Right, all just because Tommy
All
Tuberville
based
didn't
off
look
of-
up a word on dictionary.com.
All
Okay.
based on a miscommunication. Yeah. Interesting. World
Yes.
War III was caused by a miscommunication.
Lad Gadfly, thanks so much for the $20. Says this is Sitch's good faith tip for trying to charitably interpret the senator. This is why S class is the best class.
S-Class got it wrong. A-Team got it right. What, the
What did I
hell?
get wrong? What are you talking about?
Look, I nailed it before we even watched the clip.
That was my exact. Okay, you can't listen. We can't be in a situation where I have the same thought as you, but you say it first, and then you get to say, "Oh well, I got it right."
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's reasonable.
Okay. Anyways,
Super chats.
super chats.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.